Yes, hello there everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Dodgy Gamer here, bringing you something a bit different today. This, if all goes according to plan, should be coming out on the same day that Euro 2020 is kicking off. So, this is going to be a predictions simulation video. Using my database, I'm going to sim through the Euros 10 times, and we're going to have a look at the results and see if we can pick out the most likely winners. Now, I'm sure by this point you've probably seen 5 or 6 simulation videos from different creators already. I know I have, and there's an excellent post as well on Passion for FM. Well, I've linked all of those down in the description below, the Passion for FM post and a playlist for all the different creators that I've come across. If you know of any more, drop them down in the comments. But that's the beauty of Football Manager. That's the beauty of football, isn't it? Every tournament is completely different. It's always going to throw up different results, different surprises. So let's jump in with the first sim and see what we find. But before we load up the first sim, a quick reminder that this is your one-stop shop for all things international management on Football Manager, all through the Euros and the Copa America period. We're going to be running mini-series, mini Let's Plays of each tournament. We're going to have simulations like today's. We're going to have experiments as well. A few what-if scenarios that we're going to explore with these competitions. So if that's the kind of thing you're into, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Also, if you're interested in playing the Euros yourself, I've got links to my files down in the description. Now we're going to load up the game. Now, lots of Copa America sims there. That's going to be a video in the future, in the near future, so keep an eye out for that. But we're going to go and look at the Euro sims. I'm starting with Euro Sim 3. Why? Because Sims 1 and 2 I did send over to Passion for FM to help Espen get up to 30. So we're going to jump in on number 3. We're going to go up to number 12. We're not quite going to the Captain Goodspeed level of 100 sims. Do check his video out though. It's an absolutely fantastic insight and overview into the Euros, but do that after you've watched mine. Okay, so first one up, we're jumping straight in with a look at the winners. And as you can see, it's a winner that a lot of people would predict, one of the favourites, France. Also taking on another one of the favourites, Belgium, in the final. But what is a surprise? I've cunningly concealed it. Don't worry, this isn't me just accidentally misplacing the cursor. High scoring final, as you can tell from the fact that Belgium scored 2, France 7. So let's jump straight into that. You can see in that final, wow, Mbappe and Ndombele getting France 2 goals up inside 6 minutes. Then Mbappe putting them 3-0 up on the quarter hour. Lukaku pulling one back, but then 5-1 at half time. Mertens making it 5-2 early in the second half, but no comeback for Belgium. Mbappe and Coman finishing them off. What an amazing final. So let's have a quick look at how the whole tournament worked out. You see Italy and Turkey going through from Group A. Finland going through in second in Group B with 3 teams finishing on 6 points. Russia getting nothing. North Macedonia getting through as well. Not something many people would be predicting. Finland and North Macedonia. And Scotland progressing as well for the first time in their history. Then we've got in Group E, Spain having to rely on the 3rd place finish to go through. And Group F, wow, Hungary not finishing bottom. Portugal finishing bottom, but Hungary unable to qualify. Germany and France 7 points apiece as they go through. Looking at the second round, North Macedonia fell to Belgium. Finland, well, it took penalties to send them home. Spain, Holland, tasty game there. Sweden knocking out Croatia. England getting through against Denmark. Scotland beating Turkey. And into the quarterfinals, Belgium seeing off Germany. Italy penalties again, beating England. France knocking out Sweden. And Holland ending Scotland's run at the quarterfinal stage. So in the semi-final, Belgium extra time to beat Italy. They didn't let Italy get to penalties this time. Holland losing out to France, quite an easy win. And then, of course, that epic final that we've already talked about. Fantastic stuff. Now it's time for Sim 2. Okay, Sim 2 then, and this time a much lower scoring final, much tighter, tenser affair as Spain beat Portugal 1-0, so an Iberian Peninsula derby. Even though Spain had a man sent off, Nacho, in the first half, that early goal from Marino was enough to do the job. So just a quick look back at the group stages for this one. We see, Switzerland unlucky in that. 3 points, but they finished bottom of their group on head-to-head results. Look, Wales beat them 3 1 to leapfrog them. Then Finland this time finished on 0 points, as did North Macedonia, kind of what people would expect from those two. Ukraine going through top of their group with 3 wins out of 3. Croatia knocked out in the group stage without a single win on this occasion. Slovakia not doing too well. Hungary, that group, yeah, working out as everyone is probably expecting. France, Portugal, Germany all going through into the second round. And we see Belgium, even though they don't know it, because this is just a parallel universe as far as they're concerned, but Belgium getting revenge for that final with a penalty victory over France. Denmark going to extra time against Holland. Comfortable wins for Italy, Wales, England, Poland, Portugal eking out a 1-0 win, and Germany, Spain again. Spain with the penalty shootout victory. Oh, look at that. Wales, their dream ends at the quarterfinal stage. 5-1 after extra time. We've got to take a closer look at that. So we see here, Wales actually took the lead on 7 minutes. Portugal equalised. It went to extra time, and then Portugal just ran rampant. 4 goals in extra time as they utterly destroyed the Welsh. Italy beat Poland, Spain in a goalfest with Denmark, England beating Belgium 3-0, and that brings us to the semi-final stage. Unfortunately, England's run comes to an end against eventual champions Spain, Portugal needing penalties to get past Italy, and then we get to the final on to simulation number 3. Okay, so this time we get Spain winning again, but surprise finalists Czech Republic making it all the way to the final. Not a fancied team for many. Going back to look at the results, this time Wales out in the first round. Switzerland actually topping that group with 6 points. Finland getting a win over Russia, but not enough to qualify and join Belgium and Denmark. North Macedonia, though, going through in second in their group as Ukraine crash out. Croatia, England, Czech Republic were actually a third place qualifier, a win over Scotland being enough to send them through. Spain and Poland going through, Sweden and Slovakia only managing a point, and yet again in Group F, France, Portugal, Germany. Into the second round then, heartbreak for the English, losing in extra time to Poland, Croatia knocking out Germany, Denmark knocking out Italy, interesting game there, North Macedonia falling to Spain, Czech Republic beating Holland 3-1, pretty big result there, has to be said. Into the quarterfinals then, France triumphing over Poland, Czech Republic getting past Switzerland, so we see they had a fairly straightforward run up to the semis. Croatia beating Portugal on penalties, Spain knocking out Denmark. Into the semi-final then, Spain beating Croatia 2-0, Czech Republic beating the French in extra time to make it all the way to the final, but they're a 2-0 defeat. All right, this time let's start with the group stages. So Italy and Turkey going through from Group A, Belgium, Denmark, Russia in Group B. North Macedonia again getting through. I think there is a chance North Macedonia could be the Iceland of this tournament, I think, if they can pick up points from Austria, maybe Ukraine, they could get through. Scotland topping the group. Now, this group, Group D here, the exact reverse of what a lot of people are expecting, I'm sure. Scotland topping it, Czech Republic second, England scraping through in third, Croatia eliminated. Wow. Slovakia, we see them get through for the first time, and wow, look at Group F. Germany dominate, Hungary gets second, Portugal and France eliminated, having failed to get a win at all in the tournament. So some major shocks in this one. Into our second round then, Germany through against Turkey, Russia knocking out Holland, England bouncing back from that third place finish to beat Spain, Italy knocked Denmark out. Wow, look at that. The two of the minnows coming up against each other. Slovakia, North Macedonia going through on penalties. Czech Republic beating Hungary on penalties as well. Scotland defeat Austria. Belgium beat Sweden into the quarterfinals then. Scotland's run ends against Germany. Belgium, wow, 3-3 draw with Italy. Penalty shootout sending them through. England break North Macedonian hearts with a 3-1 win, and Russia beating Czech Republic So into the semi-final then, and whoa, Belgium beat Germany and Russia beat England. Probably the exact opposite of what a lot of people would be expecting with those lineups. So into the final then, Russia into the final, but it's Belgium who triumph 2-0. Right, simulation number 5 then. So we see this time, wow, first time we've seen this, I think, a team getting through on 2 points. Switzerland 2 draws and a defeat, but it's enough to send them through. Not enough for Russia though in Group B. Group C though sees Macedonia, North Macedonia getting through again. They got the win over Austria and that was enough to send them through. In Group D, probably going a lot more with what's expected. England, Croatia, Czech Republic through. Scotland, unfortunately, in 4th. Group E, Poland managing to top the group. All 3 qualifiers finishing on 6 points. Poland, Spain and Sweden. But Poland going through in pole position, if you'll pardon the pun. Germany and Portugal through in Group F, but France eliminated with only a point. Wow. Let's see what happened here in the second round. So Spain getting an extra time victory over Ukraine. Belgium, Croatia, big game there. Holland knocking out Czech Republic. Poland going through on penalties. Portugal also through on penalties. England beating Sweden. Germany getting Finland in their group. And Italy knocking out North Macedonia on penalties. Poland winning in the quarterfinal against Holland. Italy beating Belgium. England beating Portugal in a quarterfinal. Finally. And then Spain beating Germany. So interesting lineup. We've got 3 big European nations. We've got Poland, you know, who could cause an upset. Well, let's have a look what happened. Poland did indeed do just that, beating Italy in extra time, and England getting through with a narrow 1-0 victory over Spain. So into the final. Oh, and would you believe it? It's come home. England have done it finally. Simulation number 5, we get our first England victory. A penalty shootout as well. A win over Poland. We see Rashford scoring with just over a quarter an hour left, but then Poland equalising fairly quickly into extra time. Rashford missing the first penalty. I'm sure people thought it was all over then. Lewandowski scoring, but then England didn't miss another penalty. We even had Eric Dyer, remember him, scoring the final penalty, but Poland missing 2. So England wins simulation number 5. Can they repeat in number 6? And the answer is yes, but this time not just a narrow win. England absolutely smashing it in the final here, beating Italy 4-0. Jadon Sancho with 2 goals, Jordan Henderson and Calvin Phillips scoring as well. Wow, that is the kind of stuff England fans dream of. Can you imagine the scenes in England if this were to actually happen this summer? So going back to the groups, interesting one in Group A, Italy dominating, Turkey the best of a bad bunch, 1 win only, but 3 points being enough for second place, but not being enough to get Switzerland through as one of the 3rd place finishers. Very interesting there. Belgium, Russia, Denmark going through. That's pretty standard. Finland do sneak through every so often. Austria top in the group. Holland, Ukraine, North Macedonia out. So not a tournament for the smaller nations, this one. England and Croatia through in Group D with Scotland and Czech Republic out. Slovakia failing to get out of Group E. Hungary failing to get out of Group F. So all the big boys in this one. So England have done really well here. They beat Turkey in the second round. France eliminated by Russia on penalties. Croatia falling to Holland also on penalties. Then we had some, Portugal beating Spain. That's a pretty big game, but probably all the other results are what you would expect into the quarterfinals. Pretty big quarterfinal. Italy defeating Germany on penalties. That sounds like a classic dull tournament game. A tense 0-0 draw and a penalty shootout. The Lowlands derby, Belgium beating the Netherlands 1-0. Russia, Austria finished 2-1 in favour of the Russians. England beating Portugal. Again, a quarter-final victory over Portugal. Fantastic stuff. Italy then beat Belgium, and England needed extra time to get past Russia before that epic final. 4-0 against Italy. Shades of Brazil, 1970. I'm sure you'll agree. Ah, this is getting silly now. England winning the third simulation in a row, winning number 7. Not only winning it, but beating Germany, and beating Germany on penalties. And looking at the stats, completely not deserving to beat Germany at all. Germany dominating, 12 shots on target, XG of over 2, whereas England struggled a lot more. Had Rice sent off, Declan Rice sent off in injury time, played through extra time, a man down, Calvert-Lewin having a goal disallowed, Maddison missing the first penalty. So again, you'd be thinking that's it for England. But then again, like in their previous penalty shootout win over Poland, nobody else missed. It took 7 penalties apiece until Draxler missed, Hivert's missing as well. Wow, England three-peat. So just to look at the group stages there, again, Wales just not getting through, Finland and Russia eliminated as well. North Macedonia, though, doing it for the little nations, getting second spot in their Group C. England actually went through second in their group after 2 draws, just a win over Scotland, their only win in the group stage. Slovakia getting through with Sweden eliminated. Portugal not able to get out of their group, only picking up 2 points into the second round. Ooh, huge match there. Spain, Italy. Italy getting through. Denmark knocking out France after extra time. Slovakia beating Croatia to make it to the last 8. Germany ending the North Macedonian dream. England with a big win over Belgium as well. Turkey knocking out Ukraine on penalties. So into the quarterfinals then. Wow. Slovakia made it to the semis. They beat Turkey 3-2. Holland, Italy, another massive game there. England getting through against Denmark. Germany against Switzerland. England then beating Italy on penalties. So in the same tournament, we beat Italy on penalties and Germany on penalties. Germany ending Slovakia's dream in that semi-final before that absolute England players' dream of a final. I know I said for the previous sim with Italy-Holland, wasn't it, that 0-0 penalties, or Italy-Germany, sorry, wasn't it? 0-0 penalties, boring tournament game. I'm sure this was exactly the same, but one that will live long in the memory of us England fans. Well, is it going to be 4 times in a row for England? Well, we'll find out shortly. Wales this time, getting through in the 3rd place qualifying pool. So well done them. Russia doing the same behind Belgium, Denmark. North Macedonia not making it this time. Holland having to rely on the 3rd place finish to progress. England, Scotland joining them this time. Czech Republic with Croatia eliminated. Wow. Spain and Poland getting through, but Sweden unable to join them. Germany and Hungary going through. So again, big result there. It's happened once before. Portugal and France both eliminated, despite the fact that they both got 3 points on this particular tournament. Yeah, look at the 3rd place finishers. Czech Republic, Holland, Russia, Wales, all on 4 points. Very interesting. So into the second round then. Italy progressing on penalties. Belgium beating the Czech Republic. Ukraine through. I don't think we've seen them get very far up to this point. Spain beating Denmark. Austria needing extra time to beat Wales. England knocking out Holland. Scotland beating Germany on penalties. Let's take a closer look at that one. Taking the lead through Griffiths early on, going 2-1 down pretty quickly, but then what an opening 20 minutes, and then Forrest equalising before the 20-minute mark, not missing a single penalty. Well done, Scotland. Poland knocked out Hungary in the previous round, but fell in the quarters to Italy. Belgium ending Austria's dream. England beating Spain. That's a big result for the English. Sterling and Foden scoring. It was Oyarzabal nearly equalised late on, but was disallowed. So dramatic finish there. And Scotland getting a win over Ukraine, making it to the semi-finals. Scotland. So Fraser and Robertson with the goals there. Let's have a look now at the semi-finals. And in the semi-finals, oh wow, Scotland beat England on penalties this time. Oh, look at that. Rashford getting England off to a dream start. 2-0 up at half-time. Disallowed goal from Sterling as well, but then Scotland come storming back in the second half. Tierney and McTominay with the equalising goals. Harry Kane and Foden missing the penalties, but Scotland only missing one. So Scotland in the final against Italy, but it's Italy who get the win. Italy with a 2-0 win. So one of the more interesting tournaments so far, especially late goals for Italy as well. Chiesa on 85 minutes, Immobile in stoppage time. No doubt when Scotland were throwing everything forward, but certainly, if you're British, one of the more interesting simulated tournaments so far. So on to our penultimate Euros, and again, Group A. I think Italy have qualified every single time, haven't they? Joined by one or two of the others. Belgium and Russia through again. North Macedonia, yet again, qualifying in third place. So I think North Macedonia, they've gone through quite a few times. Like I say, mark my words, in the real tournament, keep an eye on them. I'm not saying they're going to win it, but they could do in Iceland, get to the quarterfinals, something like that. Scotland topping their group in a group where only 2 matches were won. Croatia winning, England with 3 draws. Luckily, it's enough to get them through. Sweden and Spain going through, as Slovakia and Poland only manage a point apiece. And business as normal again in Group F. Germany, Portugal, France all storming through into the second round. Croatia knock out Portugal. England, Italy, massive game. England getting through. Sweden beat Turkey. Wow. France falling to Ukraine in a penalty shootout. Spain beat Russia. Wow. Battle of Britain, but played in Seville. Scotland beat Wales 2-1. We'll take a closer look at that. According to YouTube analytics, the vast majority of my viewers are based in the UK. So it's Burke and McGinn with the goals, Williams with the goal for Wales. What a clash that was. Holland beating Belgium, Lowlands derby. Let's take a look at that. We do get some viewers from Holland, not so many from Belgium. Weghorst with a brace in extra time. And Germany beating North Macedonia into the quarters then. Sweden beat Ukraine. Spain stuffed Croatia 4-1. Yet again we get it. England beating Germany on penalties. So Sane giving Germans the lead. Foden with the equaliser. And then the Germans actually missing 3 penalties to England's 2. So England go through by virtue of being slightly less shit at penalties. Scotland's dream ends, though, against Holland in the quarter-final rounds into the semis. Sweden beat Spain on penalties. England beat Holland 3-0. Could this be a 4th victory? No, Sweden triumphing. Wow, that's the smallest nation to win so far. Sweden winning on penalties, so it's Isaac scoring first, Kane equalising almost immediately, and it was Twanzebe missing the last penalty for England. Quite a shock result. Alright, so the final of our 10 Euros, and we see, I said in the last one, Italy have got through the group stage every time, and this time just barely they got through as a 3rd place finisher behind Switzerland and Wales. Belgium and Denmark also through. Holland, North Macedonia getting through in 2nd, unbeaten, as well as Ukraine and Austria failed to register a win. England, Croatia, Scotland through from Group D. Slovakia getting through this time. Sweden, they're not going to get to the final again, obviously. And Hungary getting through ahead of France. That would be the biggest shock of this particular tournament so far into the second round. North Macedonia, they've beaten Denmark on penalties through to the quarterfinals. Portugal end Wales' run. England gets Slovakia, eke out a 1-0 win. Poland through against Holland. Croatia beating Belgium. Germany beating Scotland. Italy thrashing Spain 4-0. Let's have a closer look at that one. Pretty big game there, but Spinazzola, Insigne, Chiesa and Immobile, even with a man sent off, they were comfortable. And Hungary through as well, so they got out of the group of death, and then they went on a run with it, 2-2 against Switzerland, and then they held their nerve in the penalty shootout. This is a big one. In the quarterfinals, North Macedonia beating Poland to make it to the semis. Italy ending the Hungarian dream. England getting through in extra time against Germany in Germany. Fantastic stuff. Croatia in a goalfest against Portugal. a 4-3 win after extra time. See, they went 2-0 up through Rebic, then Portugal pull it back to 3-3 late on with a Fernandes penalty. Rebic again, though, in stoppage time, and then Vlasic sealing the deal. But North Macedonia's dream ended by the Italians with a 2-0 win, and Croatia getting a 2-1 victory over England. I'm sure that's one, if that happened in real life, everyone in England would be rooting for an England-North Macedonia final. But yeah, again, taking the lead but losing out ultimately. So Italy-Croatia in the final, and it's Italy getting the victory on penalties in our final simulation. Okay, so we'll wrap things up with a crude Excel summary I just quickly put together, but I will be coming back to this later. After we've simmed the Copa America, I'm going to do a little something comparative between the two tournaments. But England were the most successful team with 3 victories. They also had 1 further final appearance. And we've got here, 1, 2, 3 semi-final appearances. Second most successful nations, we've got Spain and Italy with 2 wins apiece, but I would rank Italy a bit higher. They had 1 further final appearance, and then in total 4 appearances in the semis, whereas Spain, apart from those 2 wins, they didn't make the final at all, and then they had 1 semi-final appearance. Interesting that France, they were there, they huge win in the first sim, and I thought we're going to see France come up a lot, but they made the semi-finals in Sim 3, and apart from that, it was quarter-final exits for them all the way. Belgium, likewise, they had 1 other final appearance. They had a couple of semi-final appearances, so did a bit better than France, but perhaps not as well as you might expect. Sweden, the only real surprise winners, because we also saw them eliminated in the group stage more than once. So interesting to see that in 1 sim they managed to make it all the way to the final. North Macedonia going for it big guns in that last sim, making it all the way to the semis. And also Slovakia appearing in the semis. That was an interesting one-off. Czech Republic making the final as well. So it all goes to show, tournament football, it's unpredictable to an extent. That often the bigger nations will win, but every so often you'll just get this surprise run from a team. I mean, Scotland made it to the final as well. So, yeah, some interesting stuff. There are a few tournaments there that I would enjoy very much if we saw them replicated in real life. And I don't solely mean the England victories, although, those would be good. So, yeah, that's it for today's Euros predictions video. I do hope you've enjoyed it. Remember, down in the description, there's a link to Passion for FM's post, which analyses 30 simulations of the Euros, and also a playlist of other creators who've done similar videos to mine. Some of them just looking at 1 tournament, some of them looking at 100 tournaments even. So do go and check those out if you're hyped for the Euros. And join me maybe tomorrow, maybe in a couple of days, for a similar video on the Copa America. Please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I'm Dodgy Gamer, and I'll see you again soon.